Straight ahead, plans are underway for President Park Geun-hye and an economy team to fly to Iran. Once she lands, she is said to be the first Korean leader to visit that country for summit talks. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry visits China to push for stronger action against North Korea on the part of China. But Beijing insists now is time for talk, not action. Former presidential candidate Moon Jae-in is now the former chair of the Minju Party of Korea as he steps down, believing his departure will help the main opposition resolve internal strife with clock ticking for the April general elections. Hello, it's good to have you with us at this hour. I'm Daniel Choi. We begin at the nation's top office. President Park Geun-hye is likely to embark on her first visit to Iran soon to become the first South Korean president to do so. The goal would be to boost economic cooperation with Tehran following the lifting of international sanctions. Song Ji-sun gives us the possible itinerary.
President Park Geun-hye is scheduling her first summit with Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. The presidential office has confirmed that trip is currently under review, and further details were released when finalized. The announcement follows Chinese President Xi Jinping's trip to Tehran last week, which made him the first state leader to visit Iran after international sanctions were lifted. The news also comes after Seoul's foreign ministry on Wednesday convened a task force on economic cooperation with Iran, the Middle East's second largest economy after Saudi Arabia. Securing MOUs for Korean companies is not an option but a must, with potential competitors already rushing to take advantage of expanding business opportunities. Seoul's outbound shipments to Tehran have shrunk by an annual rate of negative 2.5% since 2010, a sharp drop from the 20% range growth in process before stronger sanctions took effect. But the lifting of sanctions means multiple industries, ranging from manufacturing and construction to the medical and financial sectors, will now likely get a boost. If the summit between Presidents Park and Rouhani is confirmed, the North Korean nuclear issue would almost certainly be on the table as well. President Park has cited Iran as a glowing example of a country giving up its nuclear ambitions and being welcomed back into the international community, when urging Beijing to take a more active role in placing stronger sanctions on Pyongyang.
북한이 핵 개발이 아무 소용이 없다는 것을 깨닫고 이란과 같이 국제사회에 나올 수 있도록 효과 있는 조치를 해주기를 기대합니다.
President Park's Iran trip will likely take place in the spring after the Nuclear Security Summit set for March in Washington. And it's also likely she'll be accompanied by a massive business delegation, as with her Middle East trip last year. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
The United States and China held a 4-hour meeting on Wednesday to narrow down differences on two most contentious issues dealing with North Korea's nuclear weapons program and the South China Sea dispute. However, according to Connie Kim, the meeting ended with the two sides reaffirming their original respective stances.
The U.S. and China have failed to narrow differences on two major issues. On North Korea's nuclear weapons program, Beijing has made clear that its stance remains unchanged. Denuclearizing the Korean peninsula should be achieved through dialogue. The comments came from Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi at a press conference with his U.S. counterpart, Secretary of State John Kerry, following a meeting on Wednesday. Kerry and Wang discussed the U.S.-led UN Security Council resolution against North Korea following its nuclear test earlier this month. Kerry said the resolution could limit goods and services exchanges between Beijing and Pyongyang. Wang agreed on the need for sanctions on North Korea, but opposed to the idea of new ones, saying sanctions are not an end in themselves.
We must point out that the new resolution is not aiming to provoke tensions and destabilize the Korean peninsula.
China, a veto-wielding permanent member of the UN Security Council, has long been against heavy sanctions on its longtime ally. Kerry, however, pressed China for a shift in stance regarding the UN Security Council resolution.
China has a particular ability because of its special role in its connections to North Korea, an ability to be able to help us significantly to resolve this challenge.
Another key issue Washington and Beijing remained divided on was the South China Sea dispute. Kerry called on China to stop claiming sovereignty and constructing artificial islands and airstrips in the disputed waters. Beijing, on its side, claimed the South China Sea has been Beijing's territory since ancient times, and thus it has a right to safeguard its territorial sovereignty. Some experts say Kerry's visit to China has only reaffirmed the two countries' gap, leading to escalating tensions between the two superpowers. Connie Kim, Arirang News.
Turning to local politics, the embattled leader of the main opposition Minju Party of Korea has resigned after months of internal strife and an exodus of members from the party's ranks. This while two of the former main opposition lawmakers merged to stand up against the ruling Saenuri Party. Shin Se-min updates us on the shift in the opposition political bloc.